Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Ruchma Sarita Lestary. I'm a student of English Department Class 4A, State Islamic University of Syarif Hidayatullah, Jakarta. On this occasion, I would like to review about 10 articles that I have read during this semester. All of these articles related to the sea because I love sea so much. This will be very beneficial for sea lovers like me. Let's check it out.
This is my summary. My name is Ruchma Sarita Lestary. I'm from English Department Class 4A. Let's start it. The first one is The Cultural Revolution in Whale Songs by Michelina-N friends. So this article is to make researches to find out why the pattern of humpback whales on Australia's east coast is different from the pattern of humpback whales in southeast Queensland, even though they are the same species. The content of the articles is to know what humpback whales actually do and feel. Each will make sounds and sing certain meanings and meanings of the same sex. By examining and observing humpback whale singing patterns, then we will know how humpback whales interact with each other. With this research, we can understand what happens to humpback whales, whether they play, interact, and maybe attract the attention of humpback whales. And the researchers found humpback whales who sing old pattern songs and some also sing a new pattern songs. Almost all male humpback whales have changed old pattern song into a new pattern songs, perhaps to attract the attention of female humpback whales. And the main finding is that many male humpback whales have created new song patterns according to where they live. New song patterns will continue to be made when they immigrate. Two is the negative impact of whale watching by Parsons. So there are so many negative impacts that whales get when there are so many visitors. One of them is whales feel very disturbed and can be stressed because of too much noisy that they encounter. It can have an impact on whale health, can also reduce the whale's appetite, and can disturb the whale's reproductive system. And the aim is to find out of the negative impacts of whale watching. Whales are very trained to it when there are a lot of visitors, and also the sounds of sheep, plants can greatly affect the comfort level of whales. And the next is an underwater wearable computer for two-way human-dolphin communication experimentations by Daniel and friends. So the purpose of the article is that marine biologists are trying to improve the overseas realization process for summer experiments about computers that can be used underwater. And the result that I won from this article is how marine biologists conducting research can continue to do the right interactions with marine animals, especially dolphins, so dolphins don't feel threatened by human presence. And the conclusion is that researchers are developing devices that can be used underwater to activate communication between humans and dolphins. And is probabilistic attraction and discovery of fundamental units in dolphin whistle. So this research was conducted on how to prevent the whistle from being plugged by the noisy in the sea, because the noisy can prevent someone from interacting with dolphins. And these researchers conducted research to find out how far the whistle can function in water, whether the significant impact on dolphins, the extent to which the frequency that can be is used by the whistle when someone uses it to interact with dolphins, what patterns are emitted from the whistle, and how that can happen until dolphin understand it. And the result, what I want is how one must understand the frequency that will be used to communicate with dolphins, because each frequency delivered by the whistle will have a different interpretation for dolphins. The next is embryosis of common treasure sharks, Olophius pulvinus in southern Brazil, South Atlantic Ocean, by Michelina-N and This research was conducted on to continue to maintain the breeding that occur in sharks, because shark population must continue to be maintained and conserved to make shark from extinctions. And what is found in this article is that from each place the embryo was born from its parent has a similar size, including the length of the embryo shark, even though the place they are developing is different. This is no problem from where they are, because the embryos they produce still have similarities with each other. And the conclusion is to determine the reproductive season in an area must have a lot of abilities and more sophisticated tools, because the movements carried out by sharks are very fast, easy to move, and difficult to be monitored. The presence of pregnant women in September and November show that the Fulfinus can spend part of their reproductive cycle in southern Brazilian water. And the next is evidence from shark teeth for a brackish Arctic Ocean in the Ocean Greenhouse by Sora and friends. JM is also to find how fast the teeth can survive for sharks and how quickly they can eat their food, to find out the function of shark teeth that they always use in their every activity. And what is found in this article is that it turns out that water in the sea greatly impacts the strength that occur in shark teeth, especially the water pressure that keeps changing. Sometimes the water pressure is low and sometimes the water pressure is very high. It greatly affects the growth of shark's teeth. And seven is shark skin, a function in a feeding by Southall and Sims. This article was created to find out how sharks can carry out activities using dermal denticles and use their teeth to eat. What is found in this article is that adolescent sharks use thermal denticles for external manipulation and food processing. They attack food in the lateral tail body area, where the denticles are longer than other lateral regions. Dogfish use a fast head check that moves forward away from posterior foot that is long in the denticle to make the opponent strength needed for a small piece of grasped jaw to be removed from the main mass. The next is tuna longline fishing around West and Central Pacific Seamounts by Thelmo and friends. So this article was created to find out the relationship between tuna and seamounts from only a few well-studied undersea mountains in the Azores, Northern Atlantic, and etc. And what I can found in this article is to analyze the level of catch in relations to the distance to undersea mountain to the assess the association of tuna bottom on the ocean basic scale, to identify the undersea mountains that collect tuna, and then to measure contribution of the Pacific Ocean tuna catch from time to the time from these seamounts, because the West and Central Pacific Oceans is the most comprehensive spatial and temporal tuna fisheries and seamounts location data available for big eye tuna, yellowfin, and albacore on the basin scale the oceans. The next is Energetic Extremes in Aquatic Locomotions by Coral Reef Fishers by Christophers and friends. So in this article, it is stated that the aim of this study is to minimize animal suffering through careful pooling, handling, and swimming experiments based on natural rheotoxic behavior and individual safe motivations. And what I can found in this article is to show the swimming speed and energetic profile at the two opposite extremes of the performance spectrum. They are like to drive labor, and the conclusion is to obtain from this article is very fast sustained speed in a species with wing aspect ratios such as height, fin height aspect ratio, matching flexibility with efficiency, and for their size with respect to scope size, optimal swimming speed, and energy consumptions. And the last one is Fish Farm at Sea, The Ground Truth from Google Earth by Pablo and Prince. So this article was conducted to reveal that countries that didn't report their fish catch to the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization or FAO due to lack of supervision and high levels of subsistence fisheries. So so the conclusion of this article is that the result here show the promise of a new and non-traditional Google Earth tool for collecting and providing truth data. Researchers suggest that some people can now estimate agriculture production for 16 countries if they have the training, the patience to scrutinize beaches carefully and the internet. So this is the end. Thank you so much for attention. This is the best quote that I like to the see. And at the last, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you so much for attention. So is my last video for this subject, extensive reading. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.